Communities in northern Nigeria have been forming vigilante groups to protect themselves from Boko Haram. New recruits in Maiduguri have vowed to stop the armed group from taking over their city. Thousands of people there have been forced to flee their homes. Andrew Simmons is at one of the camps in Maiduguri where residents have taken refuge. He joins us live. How good a job are the vigilantes doing, Andrew, protecting those people there?
Well, it would seem to be pretty effective. The numbers are very large indeed. They're estimated to be anything between 20,000 and 50,000. And it's known as the Civilian Joint Protection Force. And it's not informal. It's actually organized on a formal basis with the state actually giving a limited form of training. Now, this displaced camp has people from villages, 52 of them in all, throughout the surrounding areas. And Boko Haram is actually now engaged in some of the fiercest attacks in their whole history. We've been speaking to one person who witnessed 48 people being shot dead, including his son, before his very eyes. Those are the sort of atrocities that are going on. That took place only 2 weeks. And these are all on top of the whole Chibok school kidnapping, in which 219 schoolgirls are still missing after more than 2 months. We went out with these civilian patrols and checkpoint operations for a whole day and part of an evening.
They're not well armed, they have little training, but this is a vigilante force that's rapidly growing in size and determination to try to defend the capital of Borno State against Boko Haram attacks by night and day. Tens of thousands of young men are at checkpoints or joining patrols and joint missions with the Nigerian army. They're all officially backed by Borno State and provided with equipment. Some are paid wages.
We know each and every one of them. The moment we see them, we'll follow them. Even we'll die. We are prepared for that.
Recruits have been easy to find, like Muhammad Bukar. He joined a year ago after Boko Haram attacked his district. He lives in Old Maiduguri, a deprived part of the city where the young have very little. It's in areas of abject poverty that Boko Haram has thrived. But this is a place where Muhammad and many like him maintain a vigilance for anything suspicious. His family is still traumatized by the attack in which Boko Haram shot dead 7 people, including Muhammad's father and 3 younger brothers.
Even they tried to kill my grandfather, so they couldn't make it. That is, they killed so many people in our area.
With Boko Haram attacks increasing, the role of the vigilantes isn't just concentrated on this high-profile job. Many members are tasked with intelligence duties, spying on people who might be informers and tracking suspected attackers. This is a war, and the vigilantes are playing an important role in defending this city. But there's a siege-like mentality here, because Boko Haram are commanding the ground outside of the city, killing at will, wherever, whenever they want. And not far away, more than 4,000 people who escaped from attacks on surrounding villages, now seeking shelter wherever they can find it. Among them is Ali Bukar and his family. 2 weeks ago, Boko Haram made him watch as they shot his 17-year-old son dead, along with 47 other people.
I saw it with my own eyes, but I have to accept it as God's will. I'm helpless now. I can't do anything. I am poor and don't have any way of fighting them.
This vigilante force is raising some alarm among human rights groups. But these are desperate times. The vigilantes already vastly outnumber the soldiers here. And unlike the army, they know their neighborhoods well.
And I should imagine that there's a certain amount of frustration knowing that the international community is looking for Boko Haram, they're looking for Boko Haram, and yet they just continue their attacks.
Most certainly, Jane, you're dead on with that. When you talk to people, there is a level of fear, a really high one, because the tactics of Boko Haram are pretty heavy indeed. You've heard of the sort of details of their attacks. So there is this fear, there is this success, it seems, partial success at least of these vigilantes in the city here. They've driven them out in many parts, and their intelligence capacity in terms of tracking them and informing the authorities is quite high. But then looking outside the city, travelling outside, then you can see the results. They are taking over vast areas, and people are frustrated because the Nigerian army says it's doing what it can, but there aren't results, and it appears to be getting worse all the time. Politically, the government says that it's in control of the situation, that it knows where the hostages, the 219 remaining hostages who have been unseen, unheard of for more than 2 months, schoolgirls aged between 16 and 18 years of age. No one knows what's happened. That's caused a massive campaign against the government, and they want results. People want results, they want them soon. How that can be done remains to be seen. It's a critical situation, and more people are resorting to joining the vigilantes to try to pressure the government to take more action to sort this problem out.
Andrew, thank you.